me say second crowd of people can't say no, say that I me. Nobody else I'm out the tip I with the youth. Ram dance a town, black up dance a country. For all of the people in the community. I stick to my roots, I stick to my roots. You know about a Kwaku, gotta stick to his roots. I stick to my roots, I stick to my roots. You know Tipper Irie, gotta stick to my roots. Well, this is Tipper Irie, the original ragamuffin. And you know what's there for the Nubian Far Room People's Talk Show with the non-fearing, unapologetic, the true prophet Kwaku. Make sure you keep it locked.
Tepe Ineke, J.R. Senegal. You're in tune to Nubian Fun People's Talk Show live here, Galaxy Afiwi.com. We say Akwaba. Give thanks and praise to the creating force of the universe. We have Nipitan being that which is greater than ourselves. Who has many names. Uludu Mari, Kulu, Kwame Blafashe, Mungo, Onyeme, Ja, Amen Ra, Ashe. Ashe. You know, some love this tune, love this tune, you know. And lick it back. We give thanks and praise
as the sun shines.
As the sun shines. We say, Dubafon to the ancestors who fought the enemies of Mama Africa in the last 6 millennia. Dubafon to all the ancestors them that fall in amongst the musical attack and our bones lay beneath the many seas, many oceans, the many rivers, the many lakes, the many swamps, the many deserts, the many trees that they were lynched at, and the graves of this world. We honor and venerate you for your sacrifices. Do our best to continue the fight. Dubafon to the ancestors. Put our stories down on stories, pirates, scrolls, books. Put them in audio, video, so we'll know where we're coming from, how we arrived, where we are, our contributions to world civilization, how we survived in captivity, how we rise, how we fall, the mistakes we made, the corrections we need to do, and where we need to go. Before, our ancestors that gave us life, our parents, our uncles, our aunties, our brothers, our sisters, our grandparents, our greater grandparents. So Madasipa, these sacrifices. The ancestors bless and guide Galaxy Afiwi.com. May the ancestral blessings, spiritual guidance and protection watch over all of you watching on Facebook, who's listening on the internet, on your phone, on your tablet, and your television. We give thanks and praise to all those who come before us, the ancestors before us, the natures, the rishas, the creative force of the universe, the guide us in the show, full jive. Yes, catch Dr. Stephen Ferguson next strong, same time, same place, 7 till 9. Galaxy Afiwi.com. Big up Prince Malachi, wherever you're there. You want a jingle, Prince Malachi? Love your music. Yes, Otep Akwaba to all those who's tuned in to Nubian From People's Talk Show live here on Galaxy Afiwi.com. You know, people, there's a lot of things happening. We're up on the lockdown, the first day of lockdown. And this is the lockdown show. But I have a very special guest in the studio that I'll be introducing in the next few minutes. I just want to say to everybody on Galaxy, all the pilots, management, the technicians, give thanks for your contribution to a wonderful, wonderful station that is bringing out information to all the nation, to all creation, irrespective, irrespective of your views. We take all calls, whether you like us or you don't like us. We're no business. The only thing we say, you have to respect the order. Lockdown. And so many people, it's almost like I see how people can be brainwashed or people can be bullied. Bullied articulately without them knowing that they're being bullied. They're talking about this corona, and they're locking down the country. A lot of people's living, I'm not going to say business, but living, because people make a living in it. They have to pay them bills and things like that. And it's hard for a lot of people right now. But I didn't realize how gullible the British people were until now to this series of things that's happened. I've seen how the elite is able to control mass media and to create a narrative that frightens people. There's nobody saying there isn't an illness out there, probably maybe a new virus, as them say, but it's not as deadly as they're making it out to be. Because to date, the coronavirus hasn't killed as much people as the common cold and flu does every year. It's got nowhere near to it. They say that, it has the potential to do that. And they're looking for a cure, a vaccine. If I said to you, people, that they haven't found a vaccine for the flu, would you believe me? So when them say them a give a flu jab, know what them a give you know. Know what it is them a give you know. Because I can categorically tell you, they don't have a cure for the flu. There's no flu jab. They don't cure you up for the flu. So build up your immune system against any disease that them send come give you. And your body will protect you. If your immune system is low, your defense system is low, you're tired, you're not sleeping enough, so the body doesn't have enough time to repair itself, you're burning, as them say, the candle at both ends. Any kind of illness, there's a lot of bacteria out there and viruses, it's going to come and lick you down. Did you know that every year the flu comes is a different strain of flu? The flu you get this year is not the flu you get last year. Now, I didn't know that. It was one of my students that advocated me about that, who studied a degree in biology. And he sat me in the cudgel. Sit down and tell me this. All why me the things are the same flu. Because that's what they bank on, that the mass of us are ignorant to certain things. And so we don't research. I mean, if we do start the research, we'll be researching our entire lives, the amount of things I'm doing. And so today, the coronavirus hasn't killed anybody. I mean, killed as much people as the flu has, and other sicknesses. And every day, on whatever news forum you turn on, whether it be radio, whether it be the LBCs, the talk radio, or BBC, any of the BBC radio stations, any of the news is Channel 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and 1 plus, and 4 plus, and Sky, and all of these stations. All you hear about is coronavirus. As if all the people that have cancer, leukemia, melanoma, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart murmur, and all these other ailments don't exist no more since coronavirus come. So like nobody now dead and nothing else but corona. So I'm saying to people, be vigilant. Because I'm telling you right now, they have got an agenda. Now don't ask me what their agenda is. I just know within my spirit, them have an agenda. They're up to something. Whatever it is them is up to, them definitely is up to something. And you must watch the play. There's a lot of evilness going on in certain places. So I'm just warning people. I'm saying to people, be vigilant. Watch them. I'm not taking no calls at the moment, so please do. I'm going to take this one call. Just this one call. And then I'm bringing in my guest. Ultimate caller, what's the name where you're calling from?
Okay. A rebel.
Hold on, can't hear you. Hold on.
You're live now, innit? Hold on. I can't see nothing. My phone's playing up as well. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, you talk about the flu right now, right?
Me never talk about the flu still, you know. Me just mention the flu still, but go on.
No.
What would I rebel?
In tune. That's why I know some in tune.
Oh.
When me have phone, my radio go off completely. So I can't hear nothing while going. But I just want to say blessings. And we'll just go listen to what I deal with tonight and just bless up everybody if you listen to the show all the while, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When you're ready, you talk when you're ready, yeah?
Alright, give thanks, Reps.
Yeah.
Honor every time.
I'm going to tune in back again, yeah? Bless
okay,
you.
bless up.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, big up Rebel. I interviewed him some months back, and I'm due to interview him again in the future. So, I'm just asking people to just be vigilant about a lot of things. You know, they're using the coronavirus to usher in new legislations, infringing on people's civil liberties. And so we have to start learning about law of different kinds so that we can protect ourselves from the people them that for some strange reason or another is obsessed with controlling other people. What this obsession is of controlling people is beyond me. But there is an obsession planetarily by a particular group of creatures that is obsessed with putting cameras everywhere, using crime and terrorism as an excuse to be watching what you are doing. Bugging your phones, listening to your phones, and all these kind of various actions. They are obsessed with watching us, and they're watching everybody. So the question that we must ask ourselves, earthlings of the planet, who are these people, or who are these creatures, and what is it that they want with us, the original beings of planet Earth, that they need to watch us? What is it about crushing the economies? Because they run the economies of the planet. It's their economy, it's their system that everybody's using. So how then does it crash? And them, I run it. You see, I just look at things practically. Me have a car, and my car drive. I know some car needs servicing. So I make sure I service my car regular, so my car not broke down. See? So when me stop service my car and ignore my car not must broke down. You got a system that you're running. You run the system. It's your system. You print paper. What's the backative of the paper that you're printing? Because you don't want nobody to use gold or silver or any natural resource to back up the economy, because you don't have none, or because you thief everybody else's. We must just don't try to look deep down in the crevices of what these people are. Just look in it practically. When the systems crash, how many times the system crash? Since me I grow, must about four times. 1980, 1990, 2003, and again. About 4 times. Me never say the royal family say them broke in any of them broke system there. Me never say the government them a ball or the MP them a cry. It's just the ordinary human beings on the planet who's got to go to their everyday little work, pay whatever bills is being thrown on them, suffers. And what they do when people like myself or people who's more knowledgeable in that sphere of knowledge than me, when they start come and broke it down and broke down certain things and I show you certain things and what they do, they will sacrifice one of their big boys or big girls to make it look like even them I get liquid. No, it don't work like that. We're not that stupid. When they're crushing the system, they're crushing it for a reason. You understand what I'm saying to you? So mark my words. I remember watching the news in the latter part of 2019, and they were speaking about the economy is about to crash. And then people saying, oh, the economy a crash up. It crashed 2000 and out a crash up. And then all of a sudden Corona come. Thousands of people, thousands of people lose them job in a Waitrose and August and all them places up today. Thousands of people have lost their jobs. But you don't hear about it. You understand me I say? So them crash the system and they crash it for a reason. And a lot of people are buying in to this narrative. Now, I hear a lot of people on these so-called public radio stations them speaking about people who are consumed with conspiracy theories. Yeah? As if the people them who are watching alternative information is watching incorrect information. And so what they've done, they've wrapped other information around this thing. If you start talking about something, are they conspiracy theorists? Well, conspiracy, yeah? You don't say conspiracy theorists. But if you conspire with somebody to commit a crime, you can get life for it, depending on what crime you conspire to do. So them a try for can we to aspire to what them a do. So we have to read the narrative. We have to read it. They're telling you that, keep 2 meters apart. What? So them know so the virus can't move more than 2 meters then. Is that what them saying? Them telling people say, in your own household, if you talk to people who live in your yard, your children them and your wife and your husband and all them something there. I mean, this is utter madness. This ain't the bubonic plague. It's not the bubonic plague. Let me tell you, you can't mix with people in your own household. But you can go to a road and mix with them. Them tell if you stand 2 meters apart. Them tell if you wear a mask. I don't know about you. And I'm not a scientist. by any stretch of the imagination. But I know that I need to breathe air to give me oxygen in my lungs. Me know that. And if I walk around 24/7 with a mask on my boat race, sooner or later my respiratory system is going to collapse. I need to breathe oxygen. Alright. If you're going on a bus or a tube where it's packed, I get it. To a pint. I can live with that because most people, the flu spreads around in winter. Because when people are go working at the tube and it pack up and all them things, then people are blowing nose and all kind of something down there. See? In the bus. But when you're walking on the road, in the atmosphere, in Mama Earth, what has been created for our comfort, them I tell we say we know for breathe oxygen. Them I tell we for put mask on our face. And one of the most disturbing things for me is that in a lot of these African countries, in the Caribbean and on the continent, apart from Tanzania, they're following this narrative like fools. They're arresting people in Jamaica. If them walk on road without a mask, if them walk in hot Jamaica, them want people to walk around with masks on them face. 24/7. I draw a man up in them pants and all them stupidness. Them idiot thing there. So what you tell me, so you don't have your own scientists? This is the madness that have gone around the planet. But when them come on the news and them attack, you not see them with no mask. Where feed them mask there? Me sit down and watch Sky News. Me watch Good Morning Britain this morning. Me no see no. Me see them. Alright, them sit 2 meters back, but me no see them with no mask. So what them fumigate the place so the virus can't roll up in there. But them I tell you, for wear mask. You understand me I say? Them I tell you for wear mask. And then they've got people now that if you don't have a mask, they might run from you. This is the insanity. If you know anything about chemistry and about the biological movement of the anatomy of the body and disease and bacteria, we have to mix, we have to touch and feel. So that our bodies can build its immune system, its immune defense system against these things. If you're all separated and everybody lock up, nobody now touch nobody, eventually, when they say you lock down and you go out and touch people, you will never drop down dead. Everybody will get it. No. But the pharmaceutical companies want to make billions, trillions out of your sickness. I'm telling you people, the people who's running the planet, or the things that's running the planet, are not earthlings. Now you can say I'm mad. You can post this video anyway and say this geezer's crazy. Yeah? But may I tell you, the way that these people are behaving is not like people who's of this planet. I go back to what I said earlier. What is it about watching people everywhere them dip on the planet? What am I watch people for? Let's face it, we're all going to die. I mean, I know I'm going to die. My guess is going to die one day. All of we going dead. So what's the big deal? We're just there to live on planet Earth and enjoy the fullness of planet Earth. Enjoy the cold, enjoy the heat, enjoy the mist, enjoy the fog, the snow, the rain, the sunshine, the beautiful fruits and food, and all the fullness therein. That is what we are here for. And to do as much good as possible in the small time that we have on this planet. Because we are the small cocoons of time moving through eternity. You understand? So our time on this planet is limited. But eternity is forever. When if you feel what I said to you, I know I got my guest here, I'm going to bring him in a few minutes. But I just felt I had to say this. Because I've been riding my bike and going to work, to and from work, and I'm watching people, and I'm seeing people at bus stops, and I'm seeing people walk up and down road with masks on their face, and I'm saying to myself, my word, is that how dumb the people them is? And then hear the joke now. Them have the damn mask on and them have damn cough. Them a cough and if you take off the mask, for breathe. When somebody collapses on the street and the ambulance come, what do they say? Move, move, move. Everybody, step back, step back. Why? They need to get air into their system. So how is it now? Uno want we for walk around with mask on with face and all them something there. Eh? I remember when you couldn't wear a mask and go in a bank. Eh? You couldn't wear a mask and go in a bank and afraid of bank robbery. No, when you go in the bank people them say, where your mask there? I say, yeah man, see my mask, I know me want to rob you. You understand me, I say? This is the madness that is happening. There's so much more that I want to say, but I got my guest in the studio and I don't want to keep him sitting down there waiting too long. So let me give you out the text number and the WhatsApp number and the live link number for when we open up the phones for questions or statements, whatever the case may be. You can tell us where you're listening from, etc. The text number is 0, and this is the text and the WhatsApp number, is 073 77 92 07 03. I repeat, this is the text and WhatsApp number. Let us know where you're locking from and whether you agree with anything I've said or not. You know, you can cuss me off if you want, or you can big me up. Whatever is your choosing. 07 3 77 92 07 3. Now, I'm going to give you the live link number. It's a Skype number. So if you have Skype anywhere in the world, you can Skype in and it's free, not costing no money. Or if you're in Britain, you can just call it as a local number. And it's +44 if you are abroad. If you're in Britain, it's 0207. So you drop this, the first 0 if you're abroad, and just +44 0207 193 07 0174. My apologies. 0207 193 0174. You're in tune to the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show, live here on Galaxy Afiwe.com, the only deep brainwashing station in Odisha nation, coming to you live from Britain. In the studio tonight, I have somebody who I've known for at least 2/3 of his life. A young man who I met in the early 1990s when we started a Saturday school called Nubia African Community Foundation School that is still running today. And this young man was one of our students. I don't take credit for how he's turned out. I take it with the rest of those that assisted in his development his mother, his father, his aunts, and his other Sebas and his siblings. He left school, he didn't see out Nubia, he didn't graduate from Nubia. But he went away and he went on his sojourn. He then came back years later and started to teach at the school. He then went on to start his own chess academy with a friend of his, which he will give his name when he comes. And they started Mind Over Body Chess Club or Chess Academy, where they teach young African children to play chess, and then they started tournaments. And this went on for a number of years. And then from that, he moved on to teaching moral philosophy. And he does his moral philosophy now via Zoom and has students in the United States, in the Caribbean, and here in Britain. My brothers and sisters, I introduce to you tonight a man who, every time I see him, I smile. It's worth more than money when I see him teaching, counseling, being a listening ear. My student, Siba Amoso, please come to thing. Everybody give a clap. Hey! It come in like that, innit? I'll take Siba. Let me turn on your mic. Give me a mic check.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Go on.
1 2. Hold tap.
Yeah, I think that is it. I think you're right. Let's see. Go on again.
Hold tap. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. Oh, Siba. Oh, you're not in the I'll get into the thing, man. People see who. Yeah, see you there. Yes, Siba. So, well, I'm want to make sure, say, you know, I catch you, you know. So I'm just put on this thing, yeah. A live video. This way I deal with, you know. A live video. Go on, talk to me, can you hear? Hold on, this thing I'm supposed to do, you know. Go on now.
Hold tap, Siba. Hold tap.
Oh, go on, yeah. Man, the mess with the thing, you know. Go on again.
1 2 1 2.
Oh, that the one in our work. So hold on there. But just make sure say it live, you know, people. Go on.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
No. Oh, that's why it's not on. Now go.
1 2 1 2.
Yes. You're live now. You're live. You're live, Siba. You're live.
All right.
Live and direct. Ankle spec and knee spec and all them something. Right there. All the people them come on, the people them pan whatever for you want, go on. Yes, hold up, Siba. Yes, that's it. Yes, people are getting you. So, Siba Amuso. Fix it, you have my straight, you know. Say all these years, man. Training, see, okay? You're live, you know. Yeah. So, yeah, I know you look proper. Did I do a good introduction, Siba?
You did indeed, Siba. I'm honoured to be on the show.
And I'm honoured to have you on the show. So, you know, this show is called Unsung Heroes and Heroines. And tonight you're the unsung hero. You're the person who some people know about, but I don't think enough people know about. And you have a story to tell. So let's get into it. I mean, do you have any comments on anything that I said earlier? Let's start there.
I do actually. I think that I was really surprised by hearing and seeing people kind of going crazy on the toilet paper thing again. One going to after hearing the whole lockdown thing, people rushing to get the whole toilet paper thing, which I just don't get. I don't understand. I thought that when it happened the first time, and with people having time away, it would have given them time to kind of reflect on self and kind of notice certain things. So to hear it kind of happening again, like you'd mentioned, I was surprised at how gullible people are. So I think, and the funny thing is even in doing my class, even some of the young people, they're just kind of just gullible that people are kind of falling into it. So it's good that, some of them kind of actually, it's kind of shameful because it's adults, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, it's kind of not a good look.
Would you say then, Siba, before we get into speaking about you, that people are afraid of dying? Sorry, go on.
No, I do feel that there is that kind of fear going around of people being afraid of dying, but I think that the whole idea of what's happening with this virus thing is that it's separating us as a people, and we're a communal people, and I think we're tied to community, especially our elders. So I think, the idea of having the elders alone, having people, even when people are going into hospital, you can't connect with them, it affects us more. And I think that, that whole idea of people being afraid to die, I think it's even more so with the elderly, not having that connect. But in general, people are because they follow us on social media or what's on the TV. They follow the ride and they don't critically think. We need more people to critically think.
So, where was you born, also?
I was born in King's College Hospital.
What year?
1982.
1982.
Yeah, 1982 is when I was born.
So you're 39 now then?
38.
Coming to 39.
Coming to 39.
So you're born in King's College Hospital, and where did you grow up?
I grew up in a few places. I from my memory, East Dulwich. I grew up, if you know about Dog Kennel Hill. I used to live in the flats not too far away from Dog Kennel Hill School, and there used to be like an adventure playground across the road. I used to be around there, kind of growing up.
That's the Dulwich football ground, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the big Sainsbury's is now.
That's where the big Sainsbury's is now. I wasn't there.
It wasn't there then.
Days there, but I grew up around there from the 80s to the early 90s is when I moved down to the Nunhead, Peckham sides.
So hold on. So when you came to Nubia, then you was coming from Docken?
No, I lived in Nunhead, around them times there, because that's the early 90s, and Nubia is 91. So around that time, we was living in Nunhead. We just moved to Nunhead.
And what was it like living around in Nunhead in those days?
It was. I used to live across the road from a barber shop. Not across the road, next door to a barber shop. I think that the barber shop and the place where we lived, I think it was connected, but we moved in there before the barber shop was there. Barber shop, I'm not sure if it's still there now. Uppercuts is the name of the barber shop.
I remember that barber shop
on Nunhead Green. We used to we lived right next door to it. So we'd been there for maybe 2 or 3 years. Before we moved into Camberwell. You know, so I've kind of been there. The majority of my life, I've lived in Camberwell.
So do you have any brothers and sisters, and where do you play a part in that?
I have one brother and 2 sisters, and I'm the oldest of my siblings.
And then who comes after you?
My younger brother, Earl, comes after me, and then I've got 2 younger sisters, both born the same year. It was my sister Corinne and my other sister Shireen. Yeah, those are my siblings.
And you grew up with them?
I grew up with my brother and my younger sister. I grew up with them. There was a point where I did live with my other sister, but overall it was my younger brother and my younger sister.
And so, what was school life like? Primary school?
So I remember some of it. So I remember I went nursery. I know Dockinell Hill was my first kind of introduction to kind of being in a school. I wasn't there for very long. I went to John Ruskin School on
John
Ruskin Street.
Yeah.
I was there for maybe a year, 2 years.
So tell me a bit about your primary school. What was it like? What are the things that happened in it? What did you know? Or what you can say you look back on and I remember that, or I like that, I didn't like that?
At school I was very reserved. I kept myself to myself, but I remember that there was one friend that I had in school that I used to roll with, and I used to crack a little joke with him and all that. It was his name is Talani. It's my introduction to seeing someone from the continent. I always remembered his name because I liked the name Talani.
Yeah, when you said that, I kind of did like that name. Yeah. But I didn't know that name long before.
Yeah. So I used to like roll around with him a lot, and I remember we used to get like a bus that would pick us up and kind of take us to school. And I remember this bus would always come to pick him up. He used to live down Grove Lane. We used to go and pick him up, and then we go to school together. And I don't remember all of the teachers. One teacher that I remember.
Hold on a minute. You used to have a private bus that come and pick you lot up?
Yeah. For only John Ruskin School though. When I went back to Dockinell Hill, that kind of stopped.
Well, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
It's only about that in a Sunday school. Why are you the lucky rude boy?
Yeah. So that was. So I remember that used to happen, and there's a teacher. I think she was our main teacher, Miss Coleman. That was her name. She used to cause a lot of problems with. Particularly the black children. At that point, I didn't really know why, and I wasn't causing no problems.
Is that you look back now and you notice that it was, or did you notice that at the time?
I didn't pick it up at the time until my other schools, which I'll get to. But after that. So that was like around.
What age were you then?
I was maybe 7, about 7, and so it's coming to like 99, like around that time. And I remember I went on my first trip outside of the UK. I went to New York.
Who took you?
I went with my mum, my brother, and my younger sister, who was just just born. I don't think she was even 1 yet. So so we was in New York for a month.
Was that with other family members?
There was a friend of my mom's that moved. She used to live in the UK, but she moved to America. So we went to go and stay with her for the majority of the time there. And then Mum had my granddad had a sister that lived in Connecticut. So we went to go and see them for a little while, maybe for like 2 days.
So what was that experience like?
It was an interesting experience because my memory of things, like going on the train when we was going to Manhattan or the Bronx, like I would soak up like all of the different like train stops. So I remember I was with Mum and she was wondering where we were, and I would say, yeah, Mum, I remember we need to get off here. And I don't remember all of the train stops now, but I remember one of them from where we were staying, which was Church Avenue. I remember that there was a subway for Church Avenue.
Church Avenue.
I think that was in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Church Avenue is in Brooklyn. It's a long road. It's got all the roads of it.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and Utica Avenue, the 90s, Flatbush Avenue.
Right. So,
because I used to live off Church Avenue.
See, that's where my mum's friend was staying. So we were staying in Church Avenue, and we went. So it was mainly in New York. We went to New Jersey maybe for like a couple of days, but that was like my first kind of experience. Like I said, at that time I was like maybe 8.
So what was it like when you went on the plane for the first time?
I remember Mum had bought these powdered sweets, and she said that you suck on the sweets because when you go up, your ears will be blocked, and I didn't have any problems with eating any of the sucking on the sweets. I thought the sweets were nice, so I remember it was a Virgin plane. I remember it was a Virgin plane.
But nobody ever flied on it before.
It was I don't know about.
He missed the joke, man. A Virgin plane, nobody ever drive. He missed the joke. Yeah. Go on, yeah.
Yeah.
Was he excited?
I do remember being excited to just be on a plane for the first time and kind of have that kind of experience. And I do remember it was nice to see my auntie, do you know what I mean, and seeing family. And I hadn't gone away again for years, not until like 2003. So I hadn't been on it.
So you go to the United States, you come back, and you. What year did you come to Nubia? Do you remember?
It was 91. I'm pretty certain it was 91.
So that's probably after you went to New York then.
Yeah.
You said it was 90, and you went to New York. So you come back a year later, and your mum decides to make you come to Nubia. How did that happen?
Well, to kind of backtrack, my mum was a singer in the 80s. She was a part of a reggae group called Azania in the late 80s. So a lot of the songs that they were singing were conscious songs. And I remember being as a child, one memory I have was there was an event, I don't know who it was ran by, but it was an event in Peckham Park in maybe 1988, like around that time. And I remember being on stage, like backstage, and remember seeing my mum.
Was she a lead singer or?
She wasn't the lead singer.
She was a backing singer.
Yeah. So she used to do like the harmonies. She still does it. different types. So she still does.
Yeah.
Still does it.
I'll make her sing something for me. I Saturday school.
I mean, she does. Sometimes when we do the Happy Earth Day song, you'll kind of hear Mum kind of in the background, kind of doing the harmonies, because that's one of the things that my mum used to do. So based off of that, she used to play a lot of reggae music. So that conscious kind of vibe, my mum has kind of always had that. I think it was through my auntie, who is one of the Sebas at Nubia.
Elder now.
Yeah, elder. So it's my mum's older sister, Elder Merva. I think she had mentioned it to my mum, and then she would send us to kind of to go to the school. So I remember being 9. I think I was like 9 when I joined the school. Yeah, about 9 years old. So yeah, that was my.
So what was it like? How did it, when you first came to Nubia? Did you notice anything different than when you went normal school? What was it like, or did you want to come, or you never wanted to come? What was the atmosphere with yourself at the time when you came to Nubia?
All right. Well, the first memory of Nubia that I have is actually you. When I came to the school, I remember seeing you, and I remember you had a haircut, and at the back of your head was the ankh. At the back of your head. Yeah. It's my first memory of Nubia, coming to Nubia for the first time. That was the first memory that I had of Nubia. The other memory was my first history lesson, which was taught by Siba Komba, and I didn't know anything about the Moors, but he was teaching about the Moors and how they went into Spain, and just in terms of showing Europeans about bathing. I didn't know anything about that. Just civilizing them, because I was used to hearing about the Romans and about the British Empire, and I was I'd never heard anything like that before. So although I was quiet, I did keep myself to myself in Nubia. I think the only reason I would probably notice is because I'm tall. Yeah, but I was quite quiet. Maybe I just kept myself to myself a lot of the time. Do you know what I mean? So I was there, so I was just sort of getting on with my work, and then I would sort of leave. And the thing is that I had to go. I went Sunday school also around that time, and to answer your question, I preferred Nubia over the Sunday school. I'll tell you why. So I remember one time I went into Sunday school because my dad's side of the family, they would take me and pick me up. So it used to be a bus that would pick us up for that. And I remember.
No, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got picked up, and I remember that there was a section where we were kind of going through the Bible, and I remember during those times I used to like my video games. I had my little Nintendo and whatever my mum bought for me, and I think I must have made a comment on it. And Sister Jennifer said, that's her name, Sister Jennifer. She said, "You're gonna go to hell if you continue to play the game." And I was like, "What?" So I was confused because as a child, I didn't disrespect nobody. I was very respectful to my elders. I never disrespect nobody at all. So to think that me playing a video game means I'm going to go to hell, that automatically put me off wanting to go to Sunday school. And then I used to go to all of these, they would pick us up sometimes and we would go to church, and they would have these videos on where they would play music, and they said that this music was like devil music if you play it backwards. So it was kind of like scary. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of so going there and then going to Saturday school where they're teaching you about the greatness of who you are. I preferred Nubia. I just preferred Nubia. Yeah, and so I even in that I didn't have a choice in going anyway, because it's quite different from how things are now, because my mum didn't take me to Nubia. I would take my brother, and then later on my sister would then come to Nubia, and we would just take the bus. So I was already taking the bus 9-10 years old. I was going to certain times I would stay down Elder Mervers, but certain times we would just go down to the school. We'd take the bus down, like 2 buses, so things were a little bit different back then. So that was so I definitely preferred it and spoke about it in going to secondary school.
Oh yeah, go on.
In going to secondary school. So I went to 2 secondary schools. I don't know what the secondary school is called now, but when I was going, it was called Crofton School. So I went there and I started in 92. Yeah, 1992 is when I started secondary school. Because by 92. It's 92. No, 93. 93, I think is when I started. Because 92, I'm 10 years old. 93, I'm 11 years old. And we just moved. And then I started Crofton. And I would talk about going to Saturday school and learning about myself. And it was kind of weird to everybody, because in them times there, people didn't embrace the African side. They would laugh if you had an African name. They were like, I thought that it was great. I remember some of the children that were in my class. So I would hear names like Abayomi, Ezugo. Do you know what I mean? Like I had certain people, and I just loved the names. But there'd be people that were in the class that would laugh after them for having that type of names. And so, but because I was going to Nubia and I was hearing African names, it wasn't strange to me. You get what I mean? But to everybody else, they wasn't exposed to that. But peer pressure did have an effect on me as time went on. It did. I didn't like people laughing at me. After a while, it started to kind of get to me.
So you're Nubia, you come to Nubia. Do you make friends there?
I make friends. I mean, mainly I had my family there. There was Sazawa and the Sakari were my family who also went to Nubia, so I would be around them quite a bit. There was one boy there. His name is Daniel. So there were certain people that were in the class that I think I'm more friends with them now than I was back then, because I did generally keep myself to myself for the most part.
I remember you were quite quiet.
Yeah.
Very kind of subdued.
Yeah.
Were you like that at home with your family?
not with my brother and my sister, but I think that, I don't know, I think it was like I did kind of have that shy element of when loads of people are around, I wouldn't open up too much. But if I get to know somebody and I feel their energy, then I can talk and I can talk and I can talk and I can talk. But I'm not one to just open myself up like that. I've never kind of been like that. And there was something that made it easier for me to be able to open up, which I'll get to that as I begin to go through the story.
So you spent how long in Nubia?
I was at Nubia from 91 to 97, I think. Yeah, 97 was when I left.
Because you didn't graduate?
No, I didn't graduate from Nubia.
And then when you left Nubia, what happened after that?
I was still in secondary school. So I think I was like year 10. Year 10, because around that time, my brother was in a car accident. So it was kind of a touching time for us around that time. So we was kind of going through that for quite a bit, and I just changed school.
What was the reason for changing school?
I changed schools because when I got to year 10, in year 9 I used to, in science I used to muck around a bit in science, and but I used to take in the information. But when I got to year 10, they were repeating stuff that we were doing from year 9. So I was going through all of that work, and then there was a particular experiment that I did not know how to do. So I went to my teacher for help, and he just refused to help me or engage with me. And I just said to myself, you know what, science is important, you know. So I spoke to my mum about it, and she said that we can find another school. So I moved. I moved to went to Sedge Hill School in Beckenham, and I was there for the remainder of my secondary school. I didn't do very well in my exams. I didn't do very well, but I went to sixth form after that, and I studied media studies. I did media studies. I went to sixth form, Forest Hill School. So I was kind of going in the direction of doing something with media. I wanted to I don't know what it was I wanted to do with media, but it was like, I remember, like, I was interested in photography. I was interested in film. From my English classes, they used to do like film studies, so I was kind of interested in that. I went to Forest Hill School, and then I went to Lewisham College for a little while, and then after that, the pressures of trying to find a work, contributing to the household a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of got myself out of college after Lewisham College.
And then what did you do after that?
I was doing a work experience. I went to this place. What's the name of it? Foundation. I think it's called Foundation for Human Development, FHD for short. And I was an admin assistant there. When you're signing on at the job centre, they provide you with a place where you can kind of get like a little work experience. So I went there, and I was there for maybe 5 or 6 months I was there, and I remember they were dealing with like computers and all of that. And during this time, like I'm getting interested in music. So like I had a friend from Sedge Hill that I tell you his name is Paul Dyer. You know what I mean? And he was big into hip hop. He just loved everything hip hop.
This is where.
Yeah, he was all big into hip hop.
Was you into it before that?
Not before that. My cousin used to come to. He used to stay with us for a little while, and he would play like little tapes. So I think he played like Nas or something. Played a Nas tune. And then I knew my friend was into hip hop, so I said, "Who's this guy Nas? I never heard of him before. Who's Nas?" And then he made me a tape of all of these artists from like the 80s and the 90s, and I just loved the tape that he made. I just used to just keep playing it over and over and over again, and he would put me onto certain albums, and I remember because he used to live in Sydenham. So we used to hang out on Kirkdale.
Can't go there now though.
Yeah. So we used to hang out down there. There used to be a bus stop there, and we would reason about certain things. And then he told me that his older brother was in a rap group, and would I be interested in doing in like rapping? I said, I can't do them things there. I'm not. I don't know how to do all of that. And he was like, "Oh no, just like, you know, we're really into it. Let's just give it a try. Let's just practice our craft and work on it."
So let me stop you there. What made him feel that he wanted to speak to you about it? You know, were you writing poems or things like that? He just came out with it?
No. So I used to always, when certain tunes would come on, I would rap the tune. I would learn the tune.
Oh, you learn the words.
I would learn the words, and we would just rap the words, and so I think that's what made him ask me, and I was kind of like, well, yeah. So, but I did give it a try. I gave it a try, and during that time, because my dad, because we just left school, and my dad was working in a recruitment agency. The name of the agency was Staff Scene Services. So my first job that I got, I worked for Technicolor, and they used to have like all of these different like videos. You know, you got DVDs now. In them times, you still kind of had videos. So yes, I used to like, you know, stack the videos in the boxes and all of that kind of thing. And then during that time, I would just write my little raps, and then I kind of did that for a year. And then we went to there was a place in Camden called Kung Fu. That was the name of the event, and they used to just play hip hop music, and then right at the end, you would have an open mic. So I would practice. I wasn't very good at freestyling. So I just practiced my rap, and I went on stage, and I went with my friend. I went with my friend. I went on stage. I did my rap, and then I came off and asked him if he was gonna like go and do his thing, but he didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. So after that, I started to just sort of go by myself, and I saw all these different rappers, and I was finding it difficult to get on the open mic because it seemed like you needed to have a demo or you needed to have something pressed on. I didn't know any producers. Remember, I told you before I was very shy. So I'm bringing this up because it was music that helped me to be able to open up, because through the music, when you're making your song and people like the song, people approach you and ask questions, which puts you in a position to have to speak. Yeah. So so it was actually, and this is when I'm getting back to now, I was still not involved in the school yet. So I remember my cousin, I'm walking with my cousin down Peckham High Street, and I was talking about, man, what is going on with us as a people? I just asked him that question. I don't know why I asked it, I just asked him that question. And he goes, yo, cuz, you need to listen to Uncle on the radio. He's talking about you. He said, I said, you need to listen to him on the radio. I said, what is it? He said, he's, back them times he was on Power Jam. Yeah. He said, you need to listen to him on the radio. You know, he's, check it out. And I can say that this is my first time being on the show, but I was an avid listener. The first time that I listened, it was yourself, I think Siba Nikojo, I think Siba Kumbo was on it, and Siba Garadina was on it. And I was just listening, and I was hooked. I was hooked on listening to the show.
What hooked you? What was it that captured your imagination or your thirst to be hooked on it?
I think it was the realism of
what
was going on. I think it was the realism of what was going on at the time. I was hearing about some of the deaths in custody. I was hearing about some of the demonstrations, people standing up. You was talking about these things. You was talking about people that weren't just talking about doing something, that they were actually doing something. And there was an event that you promoted on the show, and it was actually to Afrika Bantu Saturday School. I don't remember exactly what the event was, but I remember going there, and I met quite a number of people there. But what got me to want to do something, I have to give her props, is Sister Afria. Sister Afria, I think she must have been about 18 or 19 around that time. So she was on the mic and she was talking about
it was the initiatives, isn't it, at the time, isn't it?
No, it was at St. Martin's.
St. Martin's, isn't it?
Yeah, it was at St. Martin's. And she inspired me to want to get involved immediately. Like I said, I got to be a part of something. That spoke to me when she spoke. It spoke to me because I think maybe because she was closer to my age. But I heard about it through what you were talking about on the radio. And in that time, that was the first time I joined the organisation. I joined the Pan-African Youth Organisation. And members of Nubia were already a part of the organisation already. So I wasn't going in there blind. They were kind of already a part of it. So I just said, I'm inspired. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of making a change. So that was kind of my first introduction to organisation. And you had there's an unsung hero that you had on here that I was rolling with for a little bit, Elder Minka. I joined the African People's Liberation Organisation, and I also went to back then the African United Action Front. I went to meetings there.
I used to see you there.
Yeah, so I used to write like some of the minutes.
Yes, I remember.
I used to write some of the minutes. So so I was just sort
you
of
never said much, but
yeah, I just would just soak up. I was just kind of soaking up and just more kind of observing. So I used to there was a number of inquests I went to. I went to the Roger Sylvester inquest. I went to the Derek Bennett inquest.
You took notes of all of those, didn't you?
I took.
We were talking to you about that.
I took a lot of notes. I took a lot of notes on that. I'd sat down and seen some of the members of the family, which is why I've got a lot of respect for Elder Minka. I really do, because he was very supportive of the families. There's some people that I didn't see a lot of people, but I always saw Elder Minka. I was inspired to kind of be a part of it. But there was as I was going to meetings and I was going to demonstrations, I remember there was a demonstration, the Sudan demonstration. Yeah.
Oh, the Sudan.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to talk to you about now. Yeah. So listen, that made me respect you even more, because you was fiery on the radio, but you weren't afraid of no police. Like anybody stepped to our people. You know what I mean? The prophet was on it. You know what I mean?
My younger days.
Yeah. I was really inspired by that, and that was getting me closer to.
What was it that inspired you at that time? Because I remember that demonstration. It's about 1,000 of us, ain't it?
There was 2,000
of us, I think.
Yeah,
the Sudanese embassy.
Right, but because I heard about the demonstration through the show, because I was just locked into the show every week. You did 2 shows a week.
No, we only done 1 show.
Yeah, so
it started on a Monday, then it went to Tuesday, then it went to Thursday, then went back to Tuesday, then went to Tuesday night.
Right. So there's loads of demonstrations, but that one, that was me kind of getting connected with brothers and sisters from the motherland, just seeing a number of different people, and that actually got me.
It has to do with all that Darfur business.
I was just sort of being a student, just watching and seeing the people that were on the front line, seeing how they move. But I went to a number of demonstrations, and I wanted.
Before you move on from that demonstration, there was something that happened at that demonstration. I remember Naz. I got you all together and I said, listen, if this kicks off, I don't want none of you lot doing nothing. And you lot said, nah, but Pops, nah. If you kick off, we're going to say, I said, nah, it ain't the fight. This ain't your fight yet. The time will come for your fight.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
It did kick off. Me and Elder Minka with the police then.
Yeah.
I remember that demonstration, man.
Yeah, that was, I think out of a number of the demonstrations, that was the one that kind of, because I went to loads of them, like...
a demonstration with Professor Sally.
Yeah, there was even what is the elder that we did a protest outside of near King's College Hospital. What was it? Elder Milton.
Elder Milton Anson.
Yes, Elder Milton
Yeah.
Hunter.
Right,
Rise in power to him. I went to I went to one of the protests there for him as well, to show my support. Because at the time I was just rolling where Elder Minka was going. I was rolling with him. But there was a point where I did go back to college. I studied journalism, and I studied politics. I did sociology as well. So I did that for a little while, and then during that time, I'm trying to find out more about myself. So I remember my first time coming back to Nubia. For the first time, you were all at Thornton Heath.
Yes.
Yeah, it was at Thornton Heath, and I think at that time, Naz had graduated. I think Kelly graduated as well, because you promoted the history class. Remember when you did the history classes? Remember, after the school, you did the history classes. You was promoting the history classes. You and
that's where this radio station gets its own, the Nubian Forum.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, me, Koja, Kumba, and there's a few others as well at the time.
Right. So I came for the history class, but it just so happens that Naz was graduating. I didn't know, but I actually went there. I was like, oh, okay. Do you know what I mean? So it was good to see him. I know that he was going Sankofa Learning Centre as well, and I helped out there a little bit. But the history classes was what I came for, to kind of reintroduce myself back into it, and that's where I found out about African Liberation Day, because I didn't go to the African Liberation Day in the 90s. I didn't go for whatever reason. I didn't know about it, but I found out about it through the show, because you interviewed Nana Kuntu. So
our ancestor Nana Kuntu.
So
Jones.
Right. So you interviewed him, and I was like, who is this elder? Who's like? I was the energy that he had. Like it just like I was like, I need to be at African Liberation Day. I need to be there, and I remember it was a fire lineup.
He was called in the Pan-Africanist movement the war correspondent.
Right. So that ALD.
The text comes a big up. I'm also very interested.
Give thanks. So that ALD, I remember. It was 2005, and this really got me wanting to be involved. This particular ALD, because it was a 3-day ALD. Normally it's 2.
Yeah, normally it's 2 days.
Yeah, but that one was 3. Yeah, and it had so Nana Kuntu was on it. Professor Tony Martin was on it.
These are all ancestors we're talking about.
Dr. Leonard Jeffries was on it. Dr. Leila Africa was on it.
Ancestor.
Who is Dr. Leonard Jeffries' wife?
I can't remember her name. But yeah, Dr. Leonard Jeffries' wife. Yeah, I can't remember her name, to be quite honest.
And then Nana Kuntu's wife, Sister Q, was on it as well. And so I remember us driving down there. I remember Siba Kwame. He drove us down there, and Rising Power to Siba Pam. She was with us. She was with us. That was kind of like my introduction to her.
Pamela Simpson.
Right. And
Another
her
ancestor.
Indeed. And her son, to meet her son for the first time. And I think that why I'm mentioning that is because that was what made me want to be involved in Nubia. So when we got to ALD, there was a somebody asked a question about Marcus Garvey, and Siba Pam's son put his hand up at 7 years old, and he was just answering the questions, all the questions.
Simeon.
I was like, Simeon, yeah, answering all the questions. Yeah, that's it. Rosalind Jeffries, that's it. Dr. Leonard Jeffries' wife. But
give thanks.
But yeah, so he was answering all the questions, and I was amazed. I was like, he's 7 years old and he knows all of this. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, wow. And then I don't know where it was that we stayed, but I saw the connection that my cousins had with you and Sibini Kojo. I saw that connection, and you know, as a man, you know, I'm around that time. I'm like 22. You know, around 22. I was craving for that. I wanted to be connected to that. I could see the connection that you all had. You all worked together. I saw the respect that they had for you, and to be quite honest, I kind of thought, boy, I kind of missed out. You know what I mean? I'm not even gonna lie. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, but I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm here now. You know, and so I continued to go to the history classes, and you were talking about Africa a lot on the show, and so I wanted to go to Africa. I wanted to experience Africa for myself, and so my first trip to Africa was in 2005, which is the same year.
Nigeria, isn't it?
No, the Gambia. We went the Gambia. So it was myself, my brother, and my sister. Naz went. Elder Merva went. And I had another one of my cousins that went. So we went like in December 2005. And that experience, I was amazed by. I remember the first thing you told me before I left. You said, when you get to Africa, take off your shoes and let the ancestors free. Probably you don't remember saying that, but he said that to me. He said that, take off your shoes and let the ancestors free, because they've been wanting to go home, you know. And I did that. I remember the smell of the air when you get off the plane. Yeah, and I was like, wow. The experience was a interesting one, because where we stayed, it was owned by a man from Sierra Leone and a white woman, European lady, right? And
where did you stay? Fajara?
It was not too far away from Senegambia. It wasn't too far from Senegambia. You might as well say Senegambia. But so once we began to find out how much people were being paid for their work, we're comparing it obviously to being over here, And I was saying like, well, how are you living on that? Right? So, you know, we're talking to the security and all of that, and then there was somebody that must have gone and grassed up. And so they just got rid of them and replaced them. They just replaced them. Yeah. And we found out where they lived. And when people talk about ghetto, I'm wondering if people really know what that actually means, because I really understood why they called the Gambia the Smiling Coast, because people you got some people that live rough. But the smile on their face, smile on their faces is like you wouldn't be able to tell that they're going through stuff. And so we wanted to try to, during that time, my brother is in organisation, because not only myself was in organisation, my brother also was in organisation, and we made a decision to say, whatever we do, we need to try and link them together. Like, we need to try and do that. So my brother was adamant on trying to get the brothers that had lost a job to get them some work so they could work for themselves. Like he was adamant on that, and we got that done before we left. But that experience there, I remember in the history classes when I came back, you wasn't there, Sibini Kodjo was there, and Sibini Kodjo said, what was your experience like? And I said, boy, I spent a lot of money to try to help other people. And he said that's one thing that you kind of have to manage, because you ain't going to be able to save everybody with what you got. You can try and do what you can, but you have to be able to, be able to look after yourself till you're able to do certain things. But I didn't know that at the time. I just went there and I just went to Kunta Kinte Island, and you get upset about seeing certain things, seeing certain white people in Senegambia. Like, I was mad. I'm not even gonna lie. I was.
Senegambia is a place that really.
I was mad.
I never needed to.
Yeah,
I'll get arrested down there.
Yeah. So I did go back again in 2006, but it was around that time. Sibini Kodjo had gone to Grenada. I don't know why he went, but he went to Grenada, and Elder Merva called me and said, we need a Siba to come in to teach. And I said, are you asking me to teach? And she said, yeah, I said that I don't think I can do that. I said no, and I think big shout out to Sibra Kimbede. Sibra Kimbede said that he would help me to do a lesson plan to structure the class. So he was going over it. I was doing a lesson on Nama, King Nama. It was a history class I was doing. In this time, yeah. So in this time, it's still at Thornton Heath, and my first students was actually Sibra Kimberde's children, and one of them is no, it was
Andre.
It was it was Kai. It was
that's Nii Kodjo's children I just named, didn't it? Yeah.
So it was Kai, his cousin Aaron, and Siba Aisha.
I remember Aaron.
Right. So, and there was somebody else, but I don't know their name. But yeah, that was my introduction to Kai, and now Siba Aisha, who is
Siba Aisha, who's now the chair Nubia.
Right. So like that was my first experience. I went again, and when you might run out of material and you kind of like freeze up. I had that experience. I think it was the third week, and I went to Elder Merva and I was like, I don't know what else to teach. And she kind of took over, And then I kind of took like a supporting role to kind of help out. During this time, we'd moved from Thornton Heath. We'd gone to...
I need to stop you there. You're in tune to the New Brentford People's Talk Show, live here on Galaxy at freeway.com. We're interviewing an unsung hero, Siba Bamuso. What's his second name, Siba Bamuso?
My full name is Omosu Oluwadamiton Awuyemi.
And that wasn't your name before when I was teaching, innit?
No, but we're not
going to go there. But what I'm saying is that wasn't your name before.
No, it wasn't.
So we want to know, why did you change your name?
Okay.
Why did you change your name? But I want to go back a bit because you've missed out quite a bit of stuff.
Right.
Because what you haven't told the people, that you are quite a successful rapper. So in between you leaving Nubia going secondary school, college and rest of it, there was some rap thing going on.
Right.
You left that out.
But the thing is, where we're at, that part hasn't come in yet, because that's I was doing it, but the success is kind of like 2006. It's kind of from that point.
Yeah, but so you was doing it before that.
I was doing it before that, and I can go into that. So going back to that, I'd mentioned that I was I'd done the open mics, and then I was finding that
we need to go back a bit because you haven't told the people what made you start rapping.
Okay.
Because you start to rap. When was it you started to do the rap, and at what period was it?
It was 2000. So 2000 was the first time I started doing it. I started going to open mics, but it didn't.
What made you wanted to do the rap? I mean, it's because you say that people are doing it, you feel say you had an urge inside yourself to say something, and that way there.
No, it wasn't like initially. I did it because my friend had asked me, and he wanted to do it.
I've seen it before.
He wanted to do he wanted to be a part of a group, and I thought, well, I'm doing it with my brethren, so I'm just going to roll with my brethren. But then he ended up not doing it, and I kind of got a feel for it as I was beginning to practice more. So I just ended up doing it on a kind of solo thing. I did maybe like a few performances when I was in Pan African Youth Organisation, but in terms of people taking notice of what I was doing, that didn't happen until 2004, which was at the Marcus Garvey Day in Windrush Square. You asked me to come up on the stage. You again. Yeah.
The culprit.
Yeah, you asked me to come up on the stage and come and say something. And I remember I was in my Marcus Garvey t-shirt that I've just got from I got a Marcus Garvey t-shirt. So I did something on the stage, and 2 people approached me after I did that performance. Spoken word artist Short Man, and there was another sister by the name of Sister Vision.
Do you remember the piece that you did?
I remember what it was called. It was called Racism. I don't remember the.
You don't remember the lyrics?
Not at all. Yeah, not at all. It was just something that I just wrote down. I did it. I don't even think I performed it again after that. I think I just went on to doing other songs. Those 2, Short Man and Sister Vision, told me about 2 nights. So Short Man was doing Voice Express, that was in Brixton, and Sister Vision was doing an event called Nyabingi Nights, which was in Holloway. It was in Holloway. So I used to go to those events regularly, and that's where I met like Tugstar and Aminoir, and like there was a load of other artists, Oneness. I met a lot of them there, and then I would go to Voice Express in Brixton, and I was just performing there regularly, and that's where I was kind of getting used to performing. In 2005, after the ALD, you said something on radio that made me say, I need to record something, because I was performing, but I didn't have anything recorded. I didn't have anything recorded at all. I didn't know who to go to, so I was looking for people that see if anybody had any production, had any beats. I remember talking to my cousin Saz, and he had a friend that had beats, and he gave me the beats. And then I went and recorded my first song, which, funnily enough, is the song that people know me for. I did a song called Race First.
You want to give us a piece of it?
Do I remember it? Do I remember it? I haven't done it so long. I can feel Garvey within my spirit. Unconscious lyrics we need to escape the gimmick. Who's with it? Our problems. We got to fix it. And we see our potential and try and eclipse it. Self-determination needs to be pushed to our nation. Love of ourselves give us an understanding of our situation. They plant us in the media and depict us as crooks, making you despise and hate the way your black skin looks. Problems would occur if our squabbling would speech. Mark of the beast would no longer have us on their leash. Rise up, Africans. Our minds are suffering from the thirst. In everything that we do, we should think race first.
Ashe. So you do the because time is running. I'm gonna have to bring you back, Siva. So you do that. You start doing the rapping, and then you went on. There was a regular Messiah Storm.
Yeah.
That you performed at quite a few times.
Yeah. So.
Shakara.
Right. So Shakara saw me perform at an event called a Jamu, which Sister Oneness had organised, and it had people like Akala on there, and Floetic Lara, and Best Kept Secret was on there. So I performed my Race First song there, which was the first time people heard it, and he was like, I want you on, Shakara approached me and said, I want you on the Messiah Storm event. So I said, yeah, I was down. So from 2006 all the way through to 2010, I was requested. I was the only one that was requested 5 times in a row, because the Race First song was, was really picking up steam at that event. I also went to America. I did performances out there. I organised with people out there, and I've still got some very close friends to this day. Shout out to Monisha, my sister, Moni Love. Shout out to her. She's one of my very good friends who I got to meet out in 2013. I got to meet her, and we still connect and do work still to this day.
So, from that, moving on quickly, you're teaching at Nubia, and then you start a chess club. Tell us about that.
Right. So, at that same event that I was talking about with Sister Oneness, I met a brother by the name of Asante. I met him, and we got close through me doing the music. And it was one day that I came down to visit him, He was living down in Plarsdale at the time. So I went down to visit him, and he just asked me, do I know how to play chess? And I said, no, I don't know how to play chess. And he said, would you like to learn? I said, yeah. So he sat down and he showed me how to play it, showed me how all the pieces move. And so we used to regularly meet up and play. And I lost so many times to him, but I kept going back. I was really engaged in the game, and we. Another story is that we haven't even gone into the Nine Elms Market stuff, which is another part. That's probably that's another part altogether.
That's a whole other show, isn't it?
Yeah. But Asante was already working with. He was already working in schools, in a boys' academy, and he was using chess as a means to connect with them. So he spoke to me when we did an event together. We were selling CDs, and my CDs at the time, T-shirts, and he spoke about the concept of mind over body. So he spoke about it from then, and I said, yeah, like, I'm down. He moved back to Birmingham. And then he said...
So was he originally from Birmingham then?
He's originally from Birmingham. He came over here. I think he lived there for maybe about 10 years.
So how did you and him meet? How did you and Asante meet? Because he's kind of your key spar, isn't he?
He definitely is, 100%. Like I said, I met him at an event called a Jamu.
Oh, your goddaughter, Ote uncle, is Princess.
One love, Princess. One love.
Hi, darling. Say hello to Daddy. Papa. Oh, you say hello to your godfather, you now say hello to me. Anyway, go on.
Right. So he went back to Birmingham, and he spoke and said, I'm starting Mind Over Body. I'm going to start it. It was September of 2013. So he starts it, he gives me flyers. I haven't done anything yet. But what made me get involved was there was a Kwanzaa gathering that we did, and I said in a SIBA meeting that I think it would be good to do Kwanzaa at my mum's. So everybody came down. Everybody came down to my mum's, and we had a Kwanzaa, and I had a student that I was working with at the time. It was Daniel. So I was working with Daniel.
Yeah, Daniel.
Right. So I had him in my room, and I asked him, does he know how to play chess? He said, I don't want to play chess. I'm not interested in chess. I said, so wait a minute. Give it a chance. So I took out the board, showed him how all the pieces move. We went back downstairs, and Kwesi, as you mentioned, Kwesi, he had seen that me and him were playing. He was like, oh, can I play? I said, of course. So he sat down and played, and Mum then said, everybody, the food is ready. Everybody got up to go and get the food. Who do you think didn't? Daniel and Kwesi continued to play chess. They were just locked in the chess game. And I watched them, and I said, there's something about this. There's something about this. So I continued doing, because I used to have Daniel come down to my place every Sunday, and then after that I thought, okay, I did it a little bit at Nubia, like during like the lunchtime. I did it a little bit there. I didn't have a venue as such in terms of a club. Like a club hadn't been set up properly yet. I lived in Thornton Heath for a while, and I used to go and pick up the children and bring them to my place, and they would just play chess. They would just play chess every Sunday, and then eventually there's a brother by the name of Justin who used to work in Clapham Library, and he said to me that I can get you in there. I can get you in there on a Sunday. And so 2016. It was 2016. Yeah, 2016 was when I started. February 2016, I started like a chess club in Clapham Library, and that's when I started with 4 children. Just had 4 children, and before all of that, we had the chess tournaments that we were doing. I know I'm kind of jumping, but we had the chess tournaments that we were doing. That was my first time taking children from the Saturday school to Birmingham.
So I think we was at Lansdowne then, innit?
No, we were at the time at West Indian ex-servicemen, because that was 2014. 2014 was our first chess tournament. So I had 2 parents that came with me the first time. 2 parents came with me. I had it was Joel, it was Daniel, it was Amal, Kemi's like 7 years old, Tanuke's like 3. Do you know what I mean? So that was like the original. Obviously, Kojo and Kwesi. That's the original crew. That's the original
students that you're teaching.
That's the original students that I taught.
Because of time, so I'm going to bring it back. So you're teaching at Nubia. What was the feeling like teaching those children? I mean, after you got the initial, nervousness and things like that, what was that like?
It was. It's hard to kind of find the words, but it was healing for me. It was purpose for me to get up every Saturday and be there every Saturday 9:45. I made sure I was always on time. I was always, because my lessons were normally like the first lessons, so I was always on time. And it was healing to see the young children there every week, and to finally find my place,
your purpose,
my purpose. And Siba, I'm not sure if Siba Aisha remembers this, but Siba Aisha did this drawing, right? And the drawing was of yourself, Siba Nikojo, Siba Merva, Siba Nicole was in there, and it was a picture of me right at the end, and then it was like a small version of me, and it at the bottom it said Nubian and Siba. To sort of say that I've kind of gone through the school and become, and I think that's when I felt like I'm supposed to be doing this, I'm supposed to be teaching. So Siba Aisha kind of really gave me that drive to want to continue to teach.
Excellent. And so you're teaching at Nubia, you're teaching on a regular basis. You then leave Nubia, and then you go on a sojourn, and then you start up your more philosophy classes, isn't it?
Right.
But that was over in what did you say? We didn't have the place of bottom of Wandsworth Bridge. Over one, no. Is it Wandsworth Bridge?
Are you talking about the moral philosophy classes?
Yeah.
The moral philosophy classes started. It literally started at my place. So I had one student. So I started it in the beginning of 2017, and then I promoted that I was doing one-on-ones. So I had somewhere else that I said there was another place I was doing it.
It says cousin Leah, Debbie, Marcus, or Marquis.
It's not ringing a bell.
Alright, go on.
Yeah, so when I had a group that started around this time 2 years ago. So around this time 2 years ago, I was asked by a parent. They said they had a group of children that was interested in the class. So this is like down in like Hendon sides. Had a little shed. Had 10 children. And I started my moral philosophy classes from there. So I was there for maybe 5 or 6 months, and then I moved to a place called Back to Eden, which was a health shop in Clapton. So I was there for a little bit over a year, and then COVID happened. And then because I could kind of see what was going to happen, I said, you know what, let me just jump on this online thing. Let me jump on the online thing. And to be honest,
pause it. Just go back slightly. I'm going to open up the line so people can call in and ask you questions and things like that, or even make a statement and the rest of read some of these WhatsApp and texts and on the Facebook. But what was it that really made you want to teach? Because you're doing journalism. Remember we used to talk about that. You're a very good writer, Siva. You know? But what was it that made you wanted to do the teaching thing? That you know?
It was, like I said, it was
Go on, man, listen to you.
I'd really, because through my music, it had a teaching element anyway. Yeah, so through my music, I was putting messages in my music. So I just think it was just a natural progression for me to want to try, because one thing about music was I wanted to be about what I'm talking about. If my first song is Race First, that's the song that I came in on. Yeah, I wanted to be a part of the solution to the problem. I did not want to be someone that is just rapping about it, because you have a lot of people that do that. I just wanted to be a part of the problem. Not part of the solution.
You want to be part of the
problem. Part of the solution. Yeah. So I saw what was going on in Nubia. I would hear when we did the assemblies, and the Sebas are saying, do we have any star pupils? And I would see the children go in, and I would see how passionate each Seba felt about why they are putting the child in the circle.
The circle's sacred.
It's sacred. Yeah, it's a sacred circle. So I watched that and saw the passion in each of the Sebas when they're talking about why they put the child in the circle. And then sitting in the classes when I'm not teaching and I'm just observing and seeing the interactions with the Sebas and the Nubians.
What was it you noticed about the reactions with the Sebas and the Nubians?
Number one, the respect. There was a lot of times people are talking about how we misbehave, we're out of control, we don't have no discipline. Nubia has maintained the discipline side of things from the 90s all the way up till now. It's remained consistent. Even those that may try to challenge the authority still end up in the end learning to discipline themselves, and it's rewarding to see that. It's rewarding. It gives imani, it gives faith for the future, and whatever society tries to say about our children, every time I've walked into Nubia, it lets me know that our future
is bright.
Is very bright. So that's why nothing is more rewarding than that. Nothing is more rewarding.
So you got these moral, I'm going to open the lines in a minute, but you got these moral philosophy classes that you teach now, yeah? You teach people from the States, from the Caribbean sometimes, and here. Tell us a bit about that.
Okay. I wanted to do, for me, because my passion is helping African people, so I'd done my voluntary work in assisting the community, but I wanted to be able to do what I love and to be able to make something from it while still continuing to do what I love. And so I wanted, for what I learned in Nubia, I wanted for that to be able to, for others that aren't able to like actually come to Nubia, for them to have a taste of it. And so you're my original philosophy teacher, philosophy Siba. So for me, the Oaths of Ma'at was something that I wanted for other children to be able to say them, learn from them, understand what they mean, and then also apply it to the world. Get them to see how they can utilize the Oaths. And I wanted to create a forum for children to where they can discuss things that are not getting discussed within these insane stream schools, and I do call them insane. Because when we're sending them there, when they come back, we have to debrief them. We have to debrief them. It has to be done. So I wanted to do classes on morality and ethics, because in terms of good character, these are things that we need to that need to be passed down to our children. So when we're getting in positions, finding that people, they don't have the heart, because when they're creating something, because they don't have the heart, they're more roping into towards what the enemy wants. So we have to deal with the heart. So I spend a lot of time focusing on character building. Character building is like at the forefront of what I'm trying to do within the moral philosophy classes. That in Yoruba they call it Iwa Pele, balanced character. So that's what I've developed a passion for doing that.
And you do very well, Siba. I've seen some of your students, I've heard some of their stuff, and then you teach both of my children.
Right.
In your moral philosophy.
Right. And it's very rewarding. Like I said, because you see them kind of growing up, and then also you realise that oath number 4, it's my duty to understand myself as a role model
And give positive
guidance to
ones
younger than me. Like,
shall we do the 12 oaths?
sorry?
Shall we do the 12 oaths?
Sure. Who's going first?
You can go first.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay. It is my duty to pursue and know my art as truth.
It's my duty to work for and promote my heart as justice.
It is my duty to protect and practice my art as reciprocity and natural order.
It is my duty to overstand myself as a role model and give positive guidance to ones younger than me.
It is my duty to be sincere in my relationship with others.
It is my duty not to cause emotional or physical harm to others.
You miss one, Seba. Number 6.
You know what you just said?
It's my duty to be sincere in my relationship with others. That's number 5. Number 6.
Oh, it's my duty to gain mastery of what I think and how I behave.
It's my duty not to cause emotional or physical harm to others.
It is my duty to respect my elders at all times.
It is my duty to preserve, replace and return that which does not belong to me.
It is my duty to extend courtesy to, but to demand courtesy from all people at all times.
It is my duty to be just in speech, judgment and actions.
It is my duty to live by the disciplines of my heart as balance.
Ashe.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. And those are the 12 oaths that we recite at Saturday school, every Saturday morning and evening, or morning and afternoon.
Ashe.
Yeah. Well, Seba Amusa, it's been a pleasure having you here this evening. It's been quite inspirational, to be quite honest. Even though I'm a bit tired from work and things today, I'm doing a bit of yawning in the background here and things like that. But I think people have been well impressed with you. And so, let me read out some of these texts. Greetings, Prophet and guests. Hearing you loud and clear from Battersea. Everything you have said so far, I agree with 100%. Keep up the good work, my brother. And then, people keep sending me videos. You can't send video now because we can't see them right, you know. Oh, Rosalie Jeffries, okay, that was in answer to that. Rise up, brother Amusu, Prophet Kwaku, beautiful show, learning a lot. Respect Kings, brother Nat. Ashe, lyrical brother Seba Amusu. Yeah, and then you got a whole load of stuff on the facelift, but we can't read them because it's a record. But this one says, he is an inspiration. Respect to him and family upbringing. He's related to Seba Merva.
Yes, I am.
And that's Sese Waraban, and then watching. Oh, Gay, what one? Respect every time. But people are watching from the United States, you know. Yeah. Big up General Amoso. Enough respect.
Big up to Brother Solomon, Black Child Promotions. Big him up.
Yeah. Because you have a very calming energy. Yeah. So the phone lines is open now. So if we got half an hour left, if you want to ask Seba Musa any questions, want to ask him about his moral philosophy class, how you can get involved in it. If you want to ask him about the chess club, you can do that. And if you just want to ask a brother a question in general, yeah, powerful brother Amusu, yeah, and feel free. The number is, if you're abroad, +44, drop the next 0, 0207 193 0174. That's a Skype number, so if you're abroad, it's totally free. If you're on Skype, you call it, won't cost you anything. And if you're here in the British Britain, the island, then you just call it, and your phone is a local number. It don't cost you anything. Or you can send in your text, and your text and your WhatsApp on 073 +44. If you're abroad, drop the next 073 7792 0703. You can send in your text. You can send in WhatsApp to ask the questions of Brother Muscle, and we would appreciate your input into the show tonight. And also, it says here, greetings Kwaku, check the microphone, there's too much hissing. I don't think that you turned up the mic right. Oh, so I did. Brother Kwame, pick up yourself every time. Yeah. Yes, Prophet. The brother Evie. Pick up yourself. That was a text, is? Oh, we have a call coming in, sorry. Otep caller, what's your name, where you calling from?
Oh, hello, Kwaku.
Yes, Otep.
My name is Burchak, Kwaku. Long time I don't phone, but I was going to ask your guest two questions, your guest especially. First one is, what does he think of people trying to make it compulsory to teach young children, such as 3, 4, 5 till 8, of masturbation and fantasizing? Yeah. Second question I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to go off the line for him to answer. What does he know any person that is trying to write books and try to turn this into series? Things like, the things that happened to Cherry Gross, and also in effects and action between the mafia and the police, and, the corruption. And basically, does he know, or does his friends know about people who's doing this, writing these books, and want to turn this into a series, TV series, with action and effects, but also about the real life between the mob and the police? That's all I'm going to say. Bye, peace, I'm out, I'm gone. Okay? And rise up to your guest and yourself. Okay? And if you can read the text that I think, and it's important, maybe you might not read it out, but after he's gone, alright, I'm gone. Bye, peace, I'm out. Bye.
Did you hear that?
I didn't pick up the second part.
Do you know anybody who's making films about things that's happened to people? For example, like with Cherry Gross and the mafia and the mobs and the police.
I'm not aware of anyone that's done a film on Cherry Groves. I'm aware of the recent book that's come out about Cherry Groves, written by her son. So I'm aware of that, but I'm not aware of any types of films or anything on the mafia. I don't know anything about that. In regards to the first question, to kind of cut it short, I feel that children need to be allowed to be children.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it needs, I'm not going to give it too much of my attention. I just think that to get straight to the point, let children be children. Yeah, they don't need to be introduced to any of this other stuff. Let them be children. Yeah, so that's that.
0207 193 0174. If you want to ask Brother Musa any questions, feel free to call in, text in, or WhatsApp in on 073 77 920703, and both numbers, excuse me, first time, both numbers, if you're abroad, you drop the first 0 and just put +44 and you could come through. Musa, as you know, we are very observant about things that is happening in our community. How do you teach the children them about this whole corona scenario?
Well, I tend to present the news to them. I think it's important. The oath of my art states, and it's my duty to extend courtesy to. Yeah. That particular part, I think it's important that we give children a space where they feel that their opinion is respected. So I present the news to them, and the way that I do it is that I will ask questions in a particular way that will get them to think, get them to use their brain. And I will give my opinion on it. I'm not trying to force my opinion on them, but I give them a space to where I present things to them that is designed for them to think. So when this thing with the coronavirus, when that first came about and I started my classes, the children were very much aware that certain things weren't right. Yesterday I had a conversation and I was talking about the lockdown, and I was talking about what is their opinion on the fact that people are going out there buying up toilet paper and all of these things again.
You know, this toilet paper thing.
They're on it again. They're on it again. But the thing is, I mentioned that because I want for them to be aware. One of the children actually in the class in September said that the lockdown was going to come. At this day, and that's the thing. The children are quite intelligent. Like they're quite intelligent. And even yesterday, they were talking about that this lockdown thing. It may even come to certain freedoms being taken away, because that's how things are moving. That's how things are moving now. They're trying to bring in this vaccine thing, and that's all. It's interesting to hear their viewpoints, and it's their viewpoints. I have my views. They know where I stand when it comes to us as a people and African people. But I feel I see the growth. I asked them a question. I said, what did you learn? They said, well, according to Europeans, black history is over now. Some of you go to school. What did you learn over the 31 days? So I asked that question, and then they've acknowledged that they didn't even have black history for 31 days. Do you get what I'm saying? So that can't just go over their head. Do you get what I'm saying? Obviously, it should be 24/7, 365. That's how we should be running it. But they need to be aware that these things are happening. They can't think that, okay, it's Black History Month, and they may get it for a day. They may get one of them said they had an assembly and someone that did a sing and a dance, and that was it. That's all they learned for Black History Month. Do you get what I'm saying?
Ah, boy.
So
this is what Black History Month in this country degenerated to.
Right. But the children see it. So now it's about trying to provide something, get them to create it for themselves. You know what I mean? So
the Facebook gone off, my internal storage gone. Internal storage. Sorry, people on the Facebook. The internal storage gone. I try to resume broadcast now and see what go on, because it's the internal storage gone. Yeah, go on, continue to see
but yeah, so for me it's been quite easy actually to speak to the young people, because I think it's because they see that I respect them, yeah, and they see also that they can't run no game on me, and I'm very strict when it comes to homework. I learned that from you, actually, to tell you the truth. Yeah, so but they know that I care for them, that I love them. They can sense that. you know, in the lessons that we do, and I love it. I love it. It's really, the chess done so much to change my life. You know, I haven't mentioned him, and I feel that I need to mention him. I've got to mention him. I've got to talk about Kwesi Abraham. I have to talk about him because his passing had a huge effect on me. It had a huge effect on me.
And you know what, Siba? Something dawned on me when you was talking earlier on. And I'm going to tell you, but go on, say what you got to say.
Yeah, and when he passed, I needed time away. I needed to be away. But I remember being at work and I could hear him call. I heard him call me. And that's when the idea, I called you actually, the idea of the car tournament came. I heard him call my name. And it was almost like he's letting me know he's all right. He's good. Do you get what I mean? But I felt that it was important that we now show the young people the importance of what ancestral power can do. Yeah. So when I did the car tournament in 2017, and I saw the people come out for that and pack out Clapham Library, because you remember them times the libraries were at threat of being closed. You know.
That's right. Yeah.
They were at threat of being closed. That when the people packed out that library,
and it got very vibrant, that library, you know,
right.
Especially with the events that you was doing in there.
Right. But you have to remember, Siba, that with that, it's full of black people, you know. African people fill out a library, you know. The entire floor is full. Yeah. And the second time, which I think I'll probably tell the next time I come, but the second time I filled it out again. Do you know what I mean? I filled it out again. There was even more people this time. I brought people together that hadn't seen each other for a long. Siba Kumba and yourself hadn't seen each other for a little while.
Yeah, you
know what I mean? Siba Sankara. Like a lot of people came out. The car tournament has been an event that it's intergenerational. It was designed to be like a kind of rites of passage event. For
I think we should mention that is the car chess tournament.
The car chess tournament.
Yeah, the people know that you're teaching people young people chess and things like that.
Right. So the idea is that children engage with the adults, the elders. So children that are as young as like 6 years old could play somebody that's like in their 80s. Yeah. And it was these people spoke about generation gaps and all of that. And I wanted for the community to come together to play chess, use their mind, but it was to bring people together organically. Yeah. And I think that I've done 4 of them. They've been very successful, and it's a way that people didn't know. There's a lot of people that didn't know Kwesi, but the energy that has come from the event, they would know that Kwesi had a good heart. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you something I discovered right in this interview. When you took me back to when I was first teaching you, and when you was explaining how you kept yourself to yourself, that was very much like Kwesi. And I saw a vision of you and Kwesi while you were saying that, because I remember you as that young child sitting in that classroom didn't speak much. Even when I gave the to speak, you didn't say much. You're very quite quiet. But I remember teaching Kwesi, and he was very much the same. Had the same kind of temperament, the same soft tone that you have in your voice. He had, and it just dawned on me. You understand what I'm saying? So, boy, as I said, a special energy emanates from Mamusa. He is a king in every aspect. Very beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we're coming up to midnight, and it's been beautiful having you here, Siba. I'm definitely going to have you back here again. Definitely going to have you back here again. Blackout, all tight. Lennox and all them people there. Caroline, Richard. Who else in this thing, you know?
Siba Kimber.
Kimber there. Siba Kimber there, I watch. Alright. Who else I watching here? Jennifer Fergus, David Phillips. Who else I watch? We just have to flick through this thing here. There must be an easier way to do this without me flicking my finger on it. Sister Anowa, Money Love,
yeah, big up to Monisha.
I don't know why. Outop Siba Kwaku, a younger Siba, such a humble, handsome prince. Wait, are you that? That was Church Avenue, that was earlier on, innit? Is that fireworks? Yeah, it's outside of the studio, people have fireworks. Yes, Outop Cooler, what's the name and where you're calling from?
Uprisings, for Kwaku, it's Brother Nat.
Yeah, Brother Nat, where you at, my brother?
Nah, not much, we're just getting into my bed. I'll leave it there, I don't need to get graphic. But it wasn't even that major, I just wanted to, I just had to hail up, but I'm sure I'm saying it for many that have been listening in. Hail up our educator, our Siba, Brother Amosu. I had the pleasure of meeting him, and I even said how, but I ended up meeting him at Clapham Library. And actually meeting him before properly knowing or being aware of yourself, Prophet Kwaku, at Clapham Library, just was intrigued and wanting to help, at the same time working and not able to commit properly, but wanting to help, and just seeing a brother who he has radiance of attraction and bringing about calm. And I just have to hail up Brother Mosu. My question really was, when's the next tournament, the annual tournament for the car chess, and how can ones and ones reach you to do so? I mean, I'll contact you myself as well, but I'm sure just on the last part that you're speaking about with regards to there's nothing quite like, from my experience, because I've come to one of the annual events, there's nothing quite like the different generations connecting, and it's just powerful. So yeah, please, when is the next tournament, if it hasn't been mentioned already?
Right,
We'll have to wait till after the lockdown, innit?
yeah, it's normally it's in February of every year, but from how things are looking right now, I don't know how that's going to happen. But I can say this, that that will definitely be done. As soon as everything opens up, I will be on that 100%. I'm reaching out to people about getting involved. There's going to be a lot more people involved. I'm looking to kind of there's been a few students that I teach at my moral philosophy class from Birmingham that I've been teaching, and I'm going to get some of them involved in it as well. Get a lot more people involved that haven't been involved before, that wanted to come. But yeah, I definitely big up to Brother Nat, because he has been very supportive. Just in terms of encouragement, and I met and heard about him through somebody that also used to go to Nubia, who I have to shout out. Shout out to Sister Sabira, one of my very good friends. That is how I found out about Brother Nat. So big up yourself, Brother Nat. I would say, look for spring, summer. The car chess tournament will be back, 100%, and I will be in contact with you because you definitely got to be involved.
Got to connect. Spoke already about bringing more of the voice of the young people, and we know Galaxy's your family. So yeah, we'll connect, my brother, and blessed love.
Definitely.
Rise up, Hotep's topic quickly as well.
Hotep, Brother Nat, give thanks. Well, it's 10 minutes to the hours of midnight, and we be leaving dead on time. Got me tired. I got my bed to sleep, tell you the truth. But it was a pleasure having you in the studio, Siba. And just to say that I think that one of the greatest things that's happened in my life, I've had a lot of great things in my life, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The missus, the children, you know, my parents. But I think Nubia is another great thing that happened in my life.
Right.
Yeah, and because it gave me the opportunity to meet you.
Right.
You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
It gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of young people that I've had interaction that I regard them as my children. I regard it as my children.
Right.
You understand me? And it's bright to see that a few of you has taken on board what you have learned and expanding it to the wider African community.
I actually want to turn my phone back on, but I actually want to. There's something I want to read. One of the things that I am actually working on, I'm going to plug, is next year. As you're talking about writing, I'm working on a book of poems that I want to put out. Because something that I do is I like to write poems for people. For those of you that might have tuned into to Galaxy, I was the brother that called in to
when you did the poem for me.
I did the poem for you. So I have been working on material, and there's a particular poem that I want to read, and the poem is called Sebas Can Be Heroes, and I want to read it before we close out. I wrote that a while ago.
Back. I remember because you wrote that.
I wrote it a while back, but I want to. I want for the people to hear it. So let me just get.
Pick up yourself, Angela. Now she says, "Good night, family. Bless up, reassure."
Right.
Here
we go. All right. Then. Alright, get to it now. Alright, so this is, it's called Sebas Can Be Heroes. What is a Seba? It is translated in Meduneta to mean teacher. Within African society, it has a very serious function, one that guides their pupils with instruction. On the Meduneta, it is depicted as a star that has 5 points. Mother and father is where this duty first anoints. These instructions transcend the parents as we begin to evolve. Learning is infinite, so as life continues, there are some elements hard to solve. Seba in actuality cannot be separated from morality. It supports one's purpose with direction and our story, drawing out what's already within, reminding you of your glory. It doesn't attempt to disconnect families for personal gain. It is the culture that they seek to maintain. Make no mistake, we are not heartless beings sent to disconnect from the source. We are not here to replace missing mothers and fathers, but we are a branch on the tree providing the resource so the village stays on course. Sebas are the rivers of hope washing to the shores of African families, helping them to cope. They can come in the form of a child or an adult. They aren't afraid to be accountable when they are at fault. At times, through the wounds of life experience, we don't aim to be the soul. We seek to inspire through our roles, being there in times of hardship when you are working on your goals. We influence, we encourage, we work so your dreams flourish. So what is a Siba? They appeal to your five senses. We work to earn the ability to touch your soul, to see value in your African role and translate it to your life goal. To change your paradigm enough for you to want to taste and embrace your African foods and not be lost in all this other stuff. To influence the mind inside so sight is 20/20 and the search for knowledge is never empty. To let our actions of love through teaching increase your ability in hearing, for actions in love makes instruction more adhering and unfearing. For you to even be in touch with your sense of smell, eating divine meals with you, for you to tell we are one with your family, who are your original Sibas. We seek to set example within our craft. We help children to smile. We help adults to smile. We help elders to smile. And we help ancestors go that extra mile to let you know miracles don't go out of style. Sibas can be heroes and heroines within the odyssey to regain Ubuntu. They fuse love within instruction over a period of time, and we aim to be the breakthrough. Sibas can change lives and is a very serious position. It is accredited to parents within their mission. Your words are held ransom but are released to the village if your actions aren't that of a phantom, but are ones where you can be a hero or heroine. The ability to be one isn't restricted to celebrity status. There are Sibas in unseen parts of the atlas, not waiting to be an actor or actress. These are heroes and heroines in our community, promoting unity through selfless acts. So ask yourself, what are Sibas? Answer the question through your daily procedures, and to the community, you will be the heroine. You will be the hero, the teacher, the Siba, the one praised closed and afar, the shining star.
Ashe. Ashe, Siba. Ashe. Because I really enjoyed this show. Very enlightening. The man stay. Your guest as the spirit and persona of a great king. That's what she means. And yes, bro, your poem Last Strong was amazing. You have to share your works. Your craft is mastery, beloved bro. And that's Nathaniel Palmer. Yeah, and got some texts here that came in. My glasses didn't but. Watch out, you see me, I do? See, but you read, come in. Okay. My glasses.
Hotep, it's a great pleasure and honor to listen to my family with such a consciousness of purpose, giving great thanks to our ancestors for guiding you thus far. You have and are a great inspirational influence on Chinaza, not only through the chess classes, but through your continuous determination and tenacity to provide your moral philosophy classes. For this, I humbly thank you. Blissful love, Auntie Siba Nicole. Give thanks, Siba Nicole.
There's another one. Is there another one there?
Am I going down?
Is it up? I don't know.
Thank you, Elder Prophet, for your guest. Brother Amos' story, very inspiring and relatable. Beautiful soul. Keep up the great work. Sister Davina.
All the time listening to this poem, I said he is a star. Pat McQueen. Hold tight, Pat. Sister Pat. Is it anymore?
I think that's it. It goes back to the bottom.
What's that?
I'll go down.
I don't know, is it?
Oh no, you've read that one already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright then. Yes, well, people, that is the pause to the show. Until Sunday morning, I'll be back here in the Temple of Know Thyself from 10 a.m. to midday. Siba Musso, before I close the show, is there any last words that we'd like to say to the people?
Yes. For those that are interested in having their children be involved in the moral philosophy classes, I do classes online. I hold a class for 7 to 10-year-olds Monday from 5 to 6 o'clock, and I hold a class on Wednesdays from 5 o'clock to 6:30. If you are interested, please email and get your pens and paper. mobchess@yahoo.com. That's mobchess@yahoo.com. If you would like to get your children involved in the moral philosophy classes. I also do chess 1-to-1. I do it in a unique style. You have to have a real chessboard in order to be involved. And I teach the chess notation. So also mobchess@yahoo.com, and you can find out how to get involved in the 1-to-1 chess classes. I also can get other children to play you online as well. The chess clubs will come back soon once this whole COVID thing is happening. But yeah, moral philosophy and chess. Get your children involved for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, people, it's been a pleasure having you here, Siba Musso. And, may the creating force of the universe, omnipotent being that was your great and answer by as many names, watch over you, guide you, protect you, clear you apart from any wrongdoing, any evil, any wickedness that will come forth to you. May the ancestors just lift that away. And may you be granted all the desires in life that you see.
Ashe. And I just want to say that I'm very grateful to yourself for the support that you've given me over the years. I respect you to the highest degree.
Likewise.
Yeah, because I learned from you, and that poem, Sivas Can Be Heroes, you are my hero.
Sure.
Yeah, so
you're my hero too, Siba.
Ashe.
I give thanks. Love you like a son.
I love you too.
Ashe. Hotep, Siba. Hotep. We know so the future of Africating our people is safe. The hands of the future. See, so big up to all Nubia Community Foundation school members rising up every time, and all the Saturday school Sebas, from our Kebelan School of Excellence to Africa Bantu Saturday School to Nabas, and all the Saturday schools up and down the country and in the world that's teaching our children about who they are, the importance of who they are, and the importance, more importantly, of giving back to your community. Because you didn't become successful by yourself. Yes, you may have sat those exams. Yes, you might have done certain things, but there are people behind you that pushed you forward. So like they push you, as they're pushing you and you're rising, put your hand back and bring somebody with you.
Sure.
Yeah? That's all I have to say. Rise and shine, beloved. More strength at different powers. And that's from Empress Anoa. Yeah? So, I'm going to play this tune here. Chief loves this tune, and I love it. It's a Sugar Minor tune, and I think it speaks about who Siba Musso is, and people like him who unselfishly give their time to our community. So we must see them rise and we must support them. Why them wait till me I leave? Yes, caller. Otep.
Yeah, I have to call. It's Rebel Zulu again. I have to call back. Big up Seba. Yes?
Give thanks.
Respect for all the utterance tonight. I listen intently. I'm looking forward to do back a part 2 as well, Kwaku.
It'll come, man.
Brixton Original Rebel talking. We'll link up, yeah? Come and see you sign off soon.
All right, then. Give thanks, yes?
Blessed love.
Honor every time. And there you have it. Seba, you touched enough people this evening. And may this recording go to millions of Africans. And may help us to unify as a people. Or attempt to umoja together. Because only together can we rise. Only together can we be successful.
Sure.
And only together we can defeat our enemies. Itepe, Ineke, J.R. Senebe. Love, love amongst African people. Great late ancestor, Sugar Booger Lincoln mine. 1 and 8 is your fate.
You're gonna end up outside of Zion's gate. Shine your light, shine so bright.
Listen to these words.
Born for a purpose. Every man
And woman
was born for a purpose. Every man was born for a reason.
This is the big question.
Now, what is your purpose? What is your reason? What do you do it for the betterment of your people?
Go on. Read that.
Greetings. I didn't have a question, but want to say this is Natasha and Ty here. We are listening in and enjoying the show. Zebra Musu teaches my son Thai chess and moral philosophy, and we just want to thank him in abundance as he is definitely an unsung hero, and we appreciate love all he does. Big up to Natasha and Ty, the car chess tournament champion. Big him up every time.
Big up every time. Kai and Natasha. Why? I'm also get whole about text coming up on him phone as Mr. John him phone, you know. You want to read out the message? Them sending them to them out, feel away, you know. Gotta wrap up now. Not raw. Give thanks for that, not raw. Well, people, that's the show. I gotta get home tired. I get up earlier morning. But it's been an honor to have my brother, my friend, my son, my student with us here tonight. And, it's when you see them like this that you overstand. I could imagine how great so when their students became Sebas themselves. It truly is. I can go to my death with a smile on my face, and I truly mean that. And there are many more to come. There's you, there's Kojo, there's Aisha, there's Andre, there's Zachary, Sazwa, Kelly, Nathan, all of them students that come through, men and women today doing their thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And we give thanks for all of them. See it. And there's younger ones coming up now.
Right.
The younger ones, Pianki Chinaza, Ayana, Tunuke, Kemi, Liko Malakai, Abidemi, see it, yeah? Akintunde, we love all them names there, no? And, you know, their father was one of the original Sebas at Nubia.
I know, yeah.
Seba Kwame.
Kwame, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's I'm dealing with. So there's a lot of children coming through the new set that's going to be you lot students.
Right.
You know, even as me as a whole boy, I still there, I try to look lyrics on them, but I know.
Right.
You understand? I nurture them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got stories about some of them, but that's another time.
Definitely.
You know? Yeah, that's another time.
Definitely another time. Man, look for me, when I try to look for more play out, you know, it's me, the jingle by Dr. Abu, you know, and it's like, I can't find it. Me every time, it's like it just vaping disappear. I like to play me look at Dr. Abu jingle, you know, and it's like, you know, so the desk I mess about, you know. I want to set a big dedication out to, wait, you know, I can't find the name of the girls, that's good. I forget, so I'm still live, you know. I'm still live. Anyway, later upon the Facebook. Yeah, we're done. Ote, Itepe, Ineke, J.R. Senebe. Yeah.
Divine peace, long life, stability, and good health.
Ashe. Yeah, good night on the Facebook. Yeah, so just say on the Facebook. I'm gonna share that now and go and send it about the place and all them something there. I can't find my Dr. Abu thing. Alright, then we just have it done then. Now yes upon the desk, but for some strange reason or another it now come out.
We don't give
see there
because
see there